Hi, I'm Tom Hillgardner with Moving into Freedom, and today I'm going to offer you a series of mindful yoga sequences. In mindful yoga, there's an emphasis on bringing awareness to our breathing. In mainstream today, yoga has become incredibly popular for the fitness, for the flexibility of our bodies, which is amazing. But in mindful yoga, there is an added awareness of bringing our breath into our body and reminding ourselves to come into each posture with a gentleness, a warm-heartedness, and a care. Really listening to where our edge is within each posture. So most of the time, our minds can take us beyond our edge so that we really feel that stretch. We can really get in and touch our toes or touch the ground. But in this practice today, I'm going to really invite you and encourage you to come into the posture and see if you can bring your breath into your belly, into your low back, or wherever you're feeling the stretch. See if you can bring it in both the inhale and the exhale, and in a comfortable and a gentle and caring way. So before we move into our postures, I'd like for you to just take a moment to sit on a pillow on your mat. And before we begin moving, I want you to, here in your home, wherever you are in your office, take a moment to move the breath. So find a comfortable position, relax your shoulders, let the head, the spine come up, not in a way that you feel like you're straining yourself, but in a comfortable position where you're opening your chest. And from this place, bring a breath in through your nose. And exhale the breath out of the nose. Maybe softening your eyes, letting the eyelids close. And letting everything that you came to this moment, everything that's going on in your life with your work, with your family, with your health, anything that's been going on in your day that led up to this moment, just begin to slow down. Taking a deep breath in, resting the sit bones on the ground. Each breath coming in a little slower, more peaceful. Just keep moving the breathing in and out, imagining that it's like a circle coming in through the nose, and down your throat and your neck, into your chest, and gently coming down and touching the belly and the lower belly, and then circling back up, the same way it came down, and all the way out through your nose. Relaxing your shoulders, feeling your eyebrows and your forehead softening. It's this awareness, and it's this being of a slow pace with the breath that we need when we go into our movement lesson today. Imagining that at the top of the inhale, you're creating just a soft, gentle turn. So instead of the inhale coming in and then the exhale sharply changing direction, imagine at the top of the inhale, and then as it turns, come back into the inhale, So you're creating this circular movement with the breath, and at each turn from the inhale to the exhale, creating a very soft, gentle turn in and out. When you're ready, begin to slowly open your eyelids, looking down in front of you towards the floor. Gently beginning to raise the eyes up, looking straight ahead of you. Keeping that natural rhythm of the inhale coming in and then the soft turning into the exhale. And let's come into our movement lesson today. So we're going to begin by opening up our upper back or shoulder blades. So you're going to take your right arm and bring the left arm underneath. So the right arm is going to be in an L shape. Take your right arm underneath, wrap it around, and if you can, grab hold of your hands, or if you can just leave your hands like this. What you're going to do though is you're going to imagine that the elbows are lifting up and out. So they're going away from you and they're coming up. And what this is working is it's really these shoulder blades, it's stretching them apart and it's pulling them up, giving them a nice stretch. So we're going to pause here, bring your attention back to your breathing. Notice when you start to sag and, forget about the mindfulness of bringing the arms up. So breathing in. Breathing out. Notice any parts of your face or your belly that you might be holding, and see if you can let that part of your body that's holding just to relax a little bit. Great, and then slowly open the arms all the way up, expanding out. And this time we're going to do the opposite. So the right arm comes underneath the left arm. Left arm is going to make the shape of an L. Okay, so you get the left arm as an L. Bring that right arm underneath. Hook the hands, the palms, the fingers together. Okay, and then the posture comes when you begin to lift the elbows up. This is working the vertebrae all in the upper spine, in the cervical spine. And just bring your attention to your breathing. See if you can sit down into your chair. Let your sit bones relax. Your whole body's not coming up, just the elbows are bringing the arms up here. One more deep breath in, nice and slow, making that turn from inhale to exhale as gentle as possible. Good, and then begin to open the arms, stretching the arms out, opening the chest, and bringing the arms down. So let's go ahead and come to a standing posture, standing on your mat. And first let's bring some awareness with our breath to our feet and our connection to the ground. So take a moment to shift your weight towards the heels. So you're putting your weight towards the heels and then roll the weight forward onto the front of your feet. And then coming back to the backs of the heels. And then finding some place in the middle where you feel some suction cups on the bottom of your feet being suctioned to the ground, right in the middle. So you feel heel and the front of your foot being grounded. Good. And keeping the breath moving here, breathing in through the nose, breathing out of the nose. And on our next inhale breath, we're going to lift the arms as wide as they can. We're going to imagine as the arms come up and out that they're being pulled in either direction. So there's this extension coming out from both sides, and you bring the arms all the way up to the ceiling, looking up through the hands, The fingertips are extending through the ceiling into the clouds and the sky. And then as you exhale the breath, you open the hands, bringing out, roll the back down, spine curving over, letting the head dangle. Keep a bending here in your knees. And if your hands come to the floor, that's fine. If they just dangle here, that's okay as well. Just let the head relax though, and this is where you come into your breath. And your breath will let you know if maybe you're rolled over a little too far. Maybe you need to come up or bend the knees a little bit more. And so you're just breathing in through the nose and breathing out. And really letting the weight of your head relax. Let the arms dangle. You'll feel some stretching in the back of your hamstrings, but you also want to feel the curvature in your spine. This is really where the emphasis, the focus is of this particular posture. You want to create length in your spine. Breathing in deeply into the belly and the low back. And then breathing out. On the next inhale, bring the hands up underneath the knees and straighten the back. Straighten, imagine that you're creating an L from your legs to the top of your head. And the top of your head is almost extending outward from your pelvis. You feel this straightening. And you're pausing here with your hands, taking a breath, noticing where your feet are on the floor. Where is the weight? You still feel that grounded connection from both the heel and the front of your foot. Breathing in, and then exhaling and coming back down. Letting the head let go, bending your knees if you need. And on your next inhale, begin to bring the back and the arms up and out again. So breathing in. Lifting the spine nice and slow, bringing the hands back up, looking up towards the ceiling, bringing the hands together in a prayer mudra, bringing the hands back down to the center of your chest and keeping the movement of breath going. Great. And before we come to the mat, lying down or seating, I'm going to have you do a breath movement just to create more movement of chi here. Moving the energy from the tips of our toes all the way up to the top of your head. So you're going to take your arms, you're going to lift the arms up, this is the motion, and you're going to throw it down with the inhale and the exhale. So you're breathing in on the lifting up, so it's you do this 5 to 7 times. So you're breathing in through your nose and you're pushing the breath out of your mouth. So breathing in. Your last breath, you really want to let all that air come out of your lungs. What you're doing is you're taking any of the stagnant energy that's been sitting in your lungs and in your body from sleeping, from sitting at a computer, from just kind of hanging around, not doing a lot. This is moving that energy. It's getting it out so that you can be prepared to bring new energy into your body. So let's go ahead and come down to your mat. We're going to lay down with our head at one end and our feet at the other end. And you're going to completely lay down on your belly. Point your feet out and take a moment to just rest your head on the mat. And here you're going to breathe into your belly. And you're going to pay special attention to your low spine. In this posture, we're going to really work on low back issues here. So creating flexibility in your lumbar spine from your pelvis. So you want to really get a sense as you breathe. Let yourself be supported by the ground. Breathing in deeply and breathing out. as you breathe out, you'll feel yourself, your body sort of sinking into the mat, relaxing more. And in that sinking, you might feel some tightness in certain parts of your back. And just pay attention to that. Just notice it and see on the next breath if you can send your inhale towards that part of your back, breathing in. And then exhaling that area and seeing if you can let that tension, that pain go a little bit more into a state of relaxation. Good, and you'll be amazed at just laying flat and doing deep breathing, how much tension you can relieve by just breathing without doing any stretching or postures. You can really create an amazing healing in your back by just lying down and breathing into it. So let's go ahead and begin by bringing the elbows and the hands out in front of us like this here. Okay, and what we're going to do is you're going to allow the elbows and the hands to lift your upper body. So we're keeping the belly on the floor. The ribs are coming up, but the belly remains on. And we're not going any higher than this to begin. And what you're noticing as you're lifting up is that you're really creating the curvature in that low lumbar to thoracic spine. You're really creating that sort of spiking up. And notice again how your breath can come into that area. If you feel like maybe you're going too far, then back off a little bit. And just breathe in here. You can lift your head, your forehead up a little bit, lifting your chin. And again, paying attention to the exhale breath, really bringing some focus and some attention on fully exhaling. This is where you're going to allow the tension, the pain, the stagnant energy to release, to become unstuck. So breathing in and breathing in here and feeling the belly as you breathe in, pressing against the floor. And it may feel right to just stay here for a few moments. We're really getting out of the mindset of doing, and we're coming into a consciousness of being. So that the breath is actually creating the healing, not our minds. We're not efforting here to try and make ourselves more flexible or the spine to be more curved. We're putting ourselves just at our edge with kindness and gentleness, and then we're letting the depth of our breath create more flexibility, more openness. And if it feels right, begin to bring the hands, the elbows are going to come up, hands are going to remain nice and grounded into the floor. Each of the fingertips, the palms, your belly is still going to remain on the floor. You're just expanding upward, bringing the chest up. And this is going to apply a little bit more tension. So if you have a herniated disc or if you have any history of low back, then I would encourage you to remain with the elbows down, or even at a certain point, coming back down all the way with your forehead on the floor. But pausing here, breathing that breath into the belly, and feel that belly pressing against the mat as you breathe in. Our bodies are so much like nature. If you plant a seed that's a flower, it's not going to turn into a flower right away. It takes a lot of nurturing, a lot of care, and it takes a lot of time. So to create flexibility, to create healing from our discomforts, from our habitual holding patterns, we don't want to just throw ourselves into these strenuous pretzel hard poses. We want to bring ourselves into it in the right timing. Just like you don't want to overwater your plant, you don't want to overdo the stretch here. So take one last deep breath into the belly. On the exhale, just begin to lower down and bringing the head back down to the mat. And we're going to pause here for a few minutes. And there may be some part of your mind that says, I'm not doing enough. This is just laying. I'm just, this isn't yoga or this isn't stretching. And notice that part of you in your life, that you feel that you always have to do something else to experience satisfaction or fulfillment. Can you allow your breath in this moment, lying down and learning how your spine is now different after these stretches? Breathe the belly into the mat. And let the pelvis and the low back relax and drop into the ground. And taking a moment now to take your last breath. Make sure that your last breath is not ended abruptly. We're not trying to move from one posture to the next with too much effort. So begin to place the hands beside your ribs. Turn the toes in. Use the knees to help lift you up with the hands. And coming back, resting on your legs. So that for the next posture, I'm going to have you come down to your back. So go ahead and bring your back down to the mat, slowly rolling the spine, let the head rest. Feet are going to be, knees are going to be standing with your feet on the floor. And again, just pausing here with your breath, breathing in, feeling where the spine is, what parts are lifted off the ground, what parts are flat with the ground. And we're going to move into a hip opener here. This is going to really help open any tight hips that you may have. So the first thing you're going to do, put your hands flat on the floor and begin to use the weight of your feet to lift up your pelvis. And you're going to take the pelvis over to the right and drop it down. So the feet stay where they are and the pelvis comes down. Then you'll take your left foot, you're going to lift the left foot up and place the ankle right over the knee on the bottom of the thigh. And then expand your arms nice and wide out to each side. Okay. Taking a deep breath, and on our exhale breath, we're going to take the left foot down to the ground. So breathing in, and then exhaling and bringing that foot, the right foot can come off the ground, it can come onto the side, and then bringing that foot. Now, if you need a bolster to put underneath that left foot or that knee, if it doesn't go all the way down, you're really just going to the place where you begin to feel the edge. For me, I can go down on this particular posture, but really honor yourself. Okay, and you want to make sure also that your left shoulder, both shoulders, but particularly the left shoulder is still flat on the ground. If it's come up, then that means you need to bring the knees and the legs up some. Okay, so the shoulders are flat, arms are wide,
Left foot's flat on the ground. So here you're going to bring a focus on the inside of your left knee. Your foot's flat on the floor, and you're going to imagine that leg is going out away from you. Okay, and you can do that on your own without your hands. You're just taking, instead of bringing it towards you, you're pressing that leg away from you, and this is really opening up this hip coming into the left side. So you're going to pause here, bringing the breath right into that left hip. And then as your low body is turned to the right, you've dipped your legs down to the right, you're going to turn the head to the left. And keep some attention on pressing that left leg away from you. Not too much. If it begins to feel any pinching or any discomfort, then you come back and you honor that. You listen to it. But just keep a nice pressing there so that you can bring that breath and exhale all the way out. See if you can relax your hips. Relax your shoulders. Good, and then slowly bring the head back, straight looking up. And then use your arms, turn the hands over so that the hands are flat on the floor. Use that in a way to press the legs back up. Take that left knee open. Come back. Bring your pelvis back so that you're straight again on the mat. Keep your arms out here. Open the feet, and let's just wave the legs from side to side for a moment. Nice and slow. You're really opening up those hips. You'll feel the low back as well here. And just keep some movement of your breathing. Great. And come back to standing, bringing the feet back to hip width. This time we're going to do the same thing. We're going to lift up the pelvis. This time we're going to drop it over to the left and take the right foot over the knee. And we're going to take that right foot over to the left. So begin to drop that down real slowly. You're really trying to watch and listen what's happening in the low back and in the hips. So that foot comes down. And you're pressing now. Imagining you're pressing that leg from the inside away from you. So you're not drawing it in, you're really pressing that away. And you'll feel right here in this right side of your hip, the real stretching going on. So pause here, relax your jaw. Breathing in. Breathing out. You may even want to, if it feels right, turn your head to the right. And you'll notice from side to side, one side's more loose, another side's more tight. That's normal. So just honor that. And your idea is to slow down. Breathe in. Relax the back. Great. One more deep breath here, breathing in and breathing out. Turn the hands back so that the palms are on the ground. And again, you're going to lift up the legs. Okay, and bring that right foot back down to the ground. Recenter yourself so that you're flat. Open the legs wide. Dip the legs, the knees in towards one another, so open the feet as wide as they need, and then open back up. Dipping in, holding, and opening back up. So our hips, metaphysically, are where we carry our energy of moving forward into the unknown. So if you have some big changes going on in your life, new job, new relationship, moving to a new location, whatever it is, the hips are what carry our ability to move forward with confidence rather than insecurity. So having more strength and balance and openness in our hips allows us to move forward into life with more confidence and awareness. Great. Okay, good. Bring the feet back down.
So let's go ahead and come onto our backs again.
Rolling down nice and slowly. Again, how we come into our postures is very important. Are we coming into the posture aggressively, with force, or are we coming in with a sense of care and gentleness? We really want to bring ourselves into the posture with care and with awareness so that we're not overdoing it and putting ourselves in a position of potentially hurting ourselves. So here you're going to lower down your feet. No, I'm going to redo that. So from here, you're going to lift up the pelvis, and we're going to bring it over to the right. So you're dropping that pelvis to the right, and then you're going to lower the feet down, and you're going to bring the hands up over the head. They can be, it doesn't have to be directly up if that's painful or not possible. For me, it's not possible to go all the way over without feeling some pain. So I'm going to have them more in like a goalpost. And I'm going to start to walk my head and my feet toward one another, but keeping the pelvis. So we're creating this sort of crescent moon here. And you're going to feel, as you walk your head and your feet to one side, you'll feel the other side of that rib cage all the way up into the armpit, stretching and expanding down into the ribs, all the way into the side of your stomach and into your pelvis. And then once you get here, you're going to breathe. Breathing in through your nose and breathing out of your nose. Relaxing. Notice if you've gone too far, if you're not able to relax into the breath. Maybe you come back just a little bit. Relax your feet. Keeping the breathing, moving in, moving out. You may notice after a few breaths that you can go into the posture a little bit deeper. Listen to your body. you need to come out of the posture at any point, then honor that. If not, just remain here, slowing down, really letting yourself be in this moment. Nowhere else to go. Just letting the muscles and the whole body feel the stretch with the breath. When you're ready, begin to go ahead and walk the feet and the head slowly back. You can bring the arms down to the side, lifting up the knees, using the weight of the feet to lift the pelvis up and reposition yourself back down so that your head to your pelvis and spine is all straight. Great. This time we're going to go the opposite direction. So you're going to lift up the pelvis, bring it over to the left, drop the pelvis down, bring the feet out to one side, hands come up, begin to walk the head and the feet. And you'll notice that maybe this side you can go a little further, maybe you don't go as far as you did the other side. You're just imagining that both sit bones, you're not lifting that sit bone up, you're keeping both sit bones on the ground. And you're just beginning to feel this whole side, this all the way up into the armpit, into the ribs, all these muscles that hold the ribs in place, down into your lower belly and into your hip. Really begin to feel that stretch as you breathe in and exhale out. Just notice where your mind is going without judgment. Just gently bring it back to your breath, following the breath coming into your nose, expanding that rib cage out even further than it already is, and then exhaling gently out of the nose, feeling the body letting go. Good. You can come out of this pose at any time and slowly begin to lower the arms down, bring the head and the feet, shift the pelvis back to being straight, and let the legs now come flat down, and just pause here and feel the change, if anything at all. And certainly there is change. It's just a matter of us slowing down, getting out of the mindset of what's next, and just learning how to be here in the body with the back on the floor and our breath. Let your feet relax. So let's go ahead and come down to our knees. We're going to start by bringing the right foot forward. So you've got the right foot in front of you.
And if you need to put something under your left knee for a little comfort, like a layer of a blanket or a couple pillowcases, that's fine. And you're going to have your blocks or a couple of thick books on the sides of you. You really also want to make sure that that back foot, and you look back over, is going straight back. Okay? And then you've got your books here, and we're going to imagine that this left hip is pulling in front of you, and this right hip is pulling behind. So you've got this sort of, you're sinking in, bringing the right hip back, bringing the left hip forward, and really sinking into the posture. Again, slowing down to witness, are you going too far? Do you need to soften up and come out of the posture just a little bit? And maybe not. Maybe you're right where you need to be. But let the breath tell you. Breathing in. It's a really good hip opener here, really working that left hip, but also you can feel the right side too if you keep pulling, imagining that the energy, it's not necessarily the body, but the energy of this right hip is pulling back. Good, and then gently come out of it just a little bit, enough to bring this right foot closer to the outside of your mat. So you're bringing the right foot closer to the outside of the mat. And then here, we're going to bring the hands on the inside of our feet. You're going to press down with the hips. And again, if you have a block or a bolster, something that you can rest on. Maybe you don't need a block or a bolster. Maybe you can just go straight down and that's fine. Keeping the breath moving in, moving out. Great. And bring your hands back down to the floor on the inside, shifting that pelvis back up. And from here, straightening out that right leg. You can bring that right leg closer into the center of the mat. And you've got your hands here, and you're just going to, if you need to bend the leg a little bit, that's okay. We're not trying to create tension. We're just bringing it to the edge of our stretch, and then rolling the vertebra over, placing the forehead. So however much you need to bend the leg here is absolutely fine. Bending that knee, but keeping the stretch, and then sinking backwards into our pelvis. Deep breath in, and breathing out, and slowly come back up. And let's go ahead and bring that right foot back behind. And we'll change now. We'll bring the left foot forward and do the same thing to this side. So you make sure that right foot is going straight back. Bring your books or your blocks to the side. Okay. Take notice, make sure that leg, if you need to bring it in a little bit, that's normal. You're going to imagine that this left hip now is coming back, and this right hip is sinking down and forward, and you're maintaining a pelvic posture that's going forward. So you're sinking down now in. You'll feel that right here on the front side of your right pelvis. And pausing here just to breathe.
Gently come back out of it. I'm going to bring that left foot closer to the outside of the mat. Okay. I'm going to sink into the posture, and as you sink into the posture, you can bring this. You may need a couple of blocks, and that's fine. You're going to rest your head and find the right spot for you. You're really letting yourself sink into this posture. Keep breathing in, breathing into that hip. Where do you feel the tension? Can you relax your shoulders and your jaw? And exhale all the way out. And then begin to slowly move the blocks out of the way, or your books. Bring that left foot back into center. Straighten up the leg a little bit. Again, if there's a little bit of a bend in the knee, that's fine. And curl around the back over, bringing the forehead to the leg. Good, and then slowly come out of it. Let your hands take root to the ground and bring that left foot back. At any moment within the postures, in the sequence, if you feel like you need a break, if you feel like maybe your body needs a little bit of a rest, I really encourage you to come into child's pose. I'm going to show you what child's pose. You can come into this at any point. It can be a posture in and of itself during your sequence, or if you're maybe feeling like you've stretched into a muscle a little far, you need a little rest. You're going to come onto all fours, bring your knees out as wide as the mat, ankles touching, and you're going to sink back down. Now, some people might prefer to have a pillow underneath here because the ankles might be tight. But if not, you just sink back and then you let your chest and your forehead come as far as you can. Again, you can have a pillow underneath your chest if that feels more comfortable. But you bring the forehead down and then you just rest. Keep the movement of your breathing coming in and flowing out. Stay in this as long as you need. When you're ready, you can come back up. You can come out of the posture however you'd like. So our final posture today is Shavasana. This is where we come down completely flat on our back. It's the last posture of our sequence in every yoga movement. And a lot of people may tend to cut this short because it's just laying down flat. It's the end of the practice, so a lot of times our thoughts start creeping in about things that we need to get to go, our jobs and whatever our to-do list is. But I really encourage that you complete your practice very fully. So even giving yourself 3-5 minutes, if not maybe even 10 minutes, to just completely lie and letting the nervous system take in all the new knowledge that you gave it by opening it up, contracting it, and breathing into it. So let's go ahead and come onto our backs. Slowly rolling down the vertebra. Let the feet come down. Now here, if you'd like a blanket, if you'd like to put a blanket over you, over your feet, or if you'd like to put a little towel underneath your neck so that the back of your head is still on the mat, but your neck is elevated a little bit, you can do that. You can also just simply lay here with nothing on you or under your neck. Draw the shoulders down a little bit, hands to the floor. Close your eyes. Relax the shoulders. Just begin to draw the breath gently into your nose. Feel the temperature change as the air comes into your nose, coming down into your body. And the temperature change as the air comes out of your nose, each nostril. As you breathe in, your belly will come up. It expands upward without forcing. It's just a nice, healthy expansion out. As you exhale the breath, the belly will soften and come back down. The rest of your body will also begin to feel like you're melting into the floor. Really relaxing here. Taking your time, letting go of any thoughts that come in. As they come to you, just notice them and gently return to your breathing. And once you're ready, slowly begin to bring the left foot up. Left foot, knee comes to the air, pressing over to your right side. So you're lying on the right side of your body, letting the head relax down. Laying here for just a moment. Deep belly breathing. Slowly press the hand down onto the floor, the left hand, and let the arms and the elbows be what begins to lift you up. So many of us, when we start to get up off the floor from watching television, we lift up our head and our shoulders and we let the back do the work. But here, we're letting the hands and the elbows strengthen the upper body up. And we're coming into a seated posture. Bring your hands to the prayer mudra now, to your chest, to the center of your chest, breathing in. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope that you enjoy this experience, coming into yourself, becoming more centered, living from a place of compassion, And from here, I hope that this practice has allowed you to have a more clear mind, to be able to go into the world from your highest good, serving yourself and serving others. Many blessings to you.